This week on Charger Bulletin News, the Myatt Center hires a new director, students celebrate Black History Month, and heartbreaking news as a cybersecurity and networks major loses his life to COVID-19. Charger Bulletin News is next. Hello and welcome to Charger Bulletin News. I'm Nova Bostic.
And I'm Alex Severo. We begin our broadcast with sad news. Joshua Goodart, a cybersecurity and networks major, passed away over the weekend after contracting COVID-19. He was hospitalized last month. The Undergraduate Student Government Association will hold a candlelight vigil on Friday at 5:30 near Charger Statue and the Beckerman Recreation Center. Grief counseling is also available through the university's Counseling and Psychological Services Office. Students can schedule appointments by phone or through Navigate to seek support. Drop-in hours will be held on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. in the Bartell Student Activity Center. As a member of the class of 2021, Goodart was scheduled to graduate this May. The university will award Goodart his degree posthumously during the spring commencement and will invite his parents as special guests. We send our condolences to the Goodart family during this time.
The current university COVID-19 alert status is at green, the lowest level. There are 19 positive cases and 59 are in quarantine. The quarantine number may fluctuate due to contact tracing. The 19 cases in isolation include any student who chose to stay in university-sponsored isolation housing. The COVID task force reminds all students, faculty, and staff to wear a mask, wash hands often, and maintain social distancing while on campus.
The Charger Bulletin Editor-in-Chief, Kayla Muchler, joins us with news about the Myatt Center for Diversity and Inclusion.
Hello, today I am here with Carrie Robinson, the new Director for Diversity and Inclusion at the Myatt Center. Thank you so much for joining us today, Carrie.
Thanks for having me, Kayla.
Of course. So tell us, how have you been acclimating to your new role?
I've been acclimating really well. I'm really excited to be joining the Charger community, and I've been meeting different students and different staff, getting connected with different departments, and so just really trying to ease into it and also hit the ground running at the same time. So. Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. So you're coming into this university after a year of volatility in the country, right? We've had, riots in the Capitol, an intense election, and the Black Lives Matter movement. So what initiatives is the Myatt Center working on to help students understand diversity and inclusion and its importance?
That's a great question. I think first and foremost, I want to listen to what students are seeing and what they want to see from the Myatt Center. I think that that's really important. I think dialogue is really important, and so whether that's peer-to-peer or getting staff or faculty to enter into some intergroup dialogue, I think getting people to talk to each other is really important, and so building some initiatives out on that. I've heard a lot of people talk about the need for training and education, and so we're really going to the next couple of months in the Myatt Center looking hard at what kind of training and education that we can do at all levels, students, faculty, staff, and how we can roll that out to be super intentional with making sure that, at least at the University of New Haven, our community is diverse, inclusive, and welcoming.
That is wonderful to hear. Well, thank you so much for that, Carrie.
Yep.
Could you talk to us, please, about the educational importance of diversity and inclusion and how you're working with the university to bring that forth?
I mean, I think it's not only important at the university, but it's important to instill in students for when you leave, right? It's important when you're in the workplace that you understand the importance of diversity and inclusion within the workplace. And so I think, one, it starts with our faculty and staff, right? We have to make sure that everyone is kind of practicing what we're preaching, and it's woven into the classroom, and it's woven into the and so I think that just being really intentional with that education. And then we need to instill that in our students, right? And so that, to me, comes from the bottom up and the top down, right? We need everybody from the board to the president to the students to be committed to doing this work. It's only going to make our job easier in the Myatt Center if everybody's committed to it. And I've learned in the last couple weeks that I've been here that everybody really seems to want to be at the table when we're talking about these efforts. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's wonderful to hear. I definitely think it's setting them up for a great future. So what are some of the upcoming events that the Myatt Center will be hosting this year?
So we have, we're right in the middle of Black History Month right now. So there's a ton of events happening for Black History Month. We have a speaker tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And then Women's History Month will be right around the corner. We're also working on planning, which is really exciting, our first annual Lavender graduation for our LGBTQ seniors to really recognize them. I'm also hosting a couple of listening sessions next week for students. I want to hear, like I said, from you all, what's been going well, what hasn't been going well, and what improvements we need to make. So we're going to be really intentional with the events and the trainings that we're doing, and so those are some things that the community can look forward to in the next couple months.
That's wonderful to hear. Well, it sounds like you've got some great things planned coming up.
Busy.
Definitely busy. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been wonderful hearing from you.
Thanks for having me.
Let's get back to Neva in the studio.
Thank you, Kayla. You can read more about Carrie Robinson in the newest edition of Charger Bulletin, which can be found online and in any newsstand.
It's time to use your voice. The Campus Climate Survey is open to all students, faculty, staff, and administrators. Check your school email for your personal link to participate. This is your chance to share your experiences with diversity and inclusion on campus. By participating, you can win a $50 gift card, a 1-month parking pass, or an early housing selection slot. All responses are anonymous and you must be 18 years or older. The survey will close on March 14th.
Get ready for entertainment. Emily's bringing you the latest news in pop culture. What's going on this week, Emily?
Thanks, Neva. On Sunday, The Weeknd performed during the Super Bowl halftime show. The stage was set up in the stands next to the Raymond James Stadium pirate ship, instead of on the field. When The Weeknd teased the performance, he said, "Due to COVID and for the safety of the players and the workers, we kind of built the stage within the stadium, and we're also using the field as well, but we wanted to kind of do something that we've never done before." During the performance, he sang hit songs Starboy, Can't Feel My Face, and Blinding Lights. Universal has picked Crazy Rich Asians director John M. Chu to direct their film adaptation of Wicked. Chu isn't a stranger to musicals on the big screen. In 2019, he directed In the Heights, which is set to premiere in theaters and on HBO Max this summer. On Tuesday, Deadline reported that Disney will be closing Blue Sky Studios, the animation studio under 20th Century Fox. Blue Sky is most notably known for Ice Age, Rio, and most recently Spies in Disguise. A studio spokesperson told Deadline, "Given the current economic realities, after much consideration and evaluation, we have made the difficult decision to close filmmaking operations at Blue Sky Studios." Blue Sky's library and intellectual properties will remain part of Disney. The Greenwich, Connecticut-based studio had plans for production on a new animated film, Nimona, which was expected January 14, 2022, will no longer be released. Blue Sky Studios will officially close in April. And the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced their short list for 9 categories, not the major categories like Best Movie or Best Actor, however, the smaller ones, such as documentaries, short film, and visual effects. Nominations will be officially announced on March 15th, and the Oscars will be held on April 25th. That's all we have for entertainment. Joe, anything new in Charger Athletics?
Thanks, Emily. It's great to be back in the studio. First off, I want to say huge congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on their huge Super Bowl victory. Now, being from Massachusetts, it's hard to see Brady and Gronk win a Super Bowl outside of the Patriots, but I still have to give them a huge congrats after their huge win. Last week, the football team added 12 new faces to the roster on National Signing Day. The class includes 4 new members of the defense, 7 on offense, and a new kicker. On signing day, the 2 quarterback prospects highlight the group, with Brady Lafferty and Ethan Reed joining the blue and gold. Lafferty's mother was a member of the Chargers women's basketball team that won the national championship in 1987. Lafferty and the new Chargers will hope to bring home a national championship to the Chargers in their time here at the university. Also in news, 327 Chargers athletes were named to the Northeast 10 Academic Honor Roll after attaining a 3.0 or higher GPA this semester. This is the most in school history since 291 athletes were named to the list in spring of 2020. To all the athletes, congratulations and keep up the great work, both in competition and in the classroom. That's all we have for sports this week. Back to you, Neva and Alex.
Thanks, Joe. Looking forward to watching the Chargers again.
February is Black History Month. The university is hosting a slew of events to celebrate Black culture and remember the hardships that Black people endure. Thursday, speaker Charmaine McAllister discusses the history of student activism and examples of student activists from the 1960s to the present. Tuesday, next week, join the NAACP for a discussion on disparities in the healthcare fields and the negative impact on Black women. And on Wednesday, the Office of Residential Life is collaborating with the Myatt Center for Diversity and Inclusion and the Dean of Students Office to host a trap yoga event. The class will be hosted by local Black-owned business Zenzilla Yoga. Check your school email and Charger Connection for more information. Well, that's all the time we have left for this week.
You can check out the latest edition of the Charger Bulletin newspaper on chargerbulletin.com.
Stay up to date by following us on social media at Charger Bulletin. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Neva Bostic.
And I'm Alex Severo. We'll see you next time on the Charger Bulletin News.